Hey guys, so this is Jessie. I'm kind of in like a little overall top today, so again, I'm kind of unput together today. I kind of just wanted to pop in here to have a bit of a real talk with you guys because I've been struggling with my mental health recently. And I think that it's very important to talk about mental health and to talk about like exactly what goes on and things like that. So a little bit of a hard conversation to have, I guess, is that so I struggle with depression, a lot of depression I struggle with. I also struggle with ADHD and anxiety. However, I would say anxiety is probably my most manageable one in the fact that it's not large enough in my mind to be a problem. However, something that has really just like kind of messed with my world recently was that I've spoke to my mother this week. Now, for most of you, won't really know any background on me because I haven't really put anything out there. However, I thought maybe this video could talk a little bit about some of my past. So I grew up in a narcissistic household. My mother is a narcissist. And that's something that is very surreal to deal with. I'm sure there are people out there who have dealt with a narcissist, and realistically, it's something that unless you've talked to one or you've experienced one, it's a pretty surreal thing to have a conversation with them, and it's even more insane when it's someone as close to you as your mother. So, one thing that I am finding is I haven't talked to my mother in about 2 years now. Since I left home, my parents got a divorce, I decided to stop talking to her. Unfortunately, in most situations with narcissists, the only thing you can do is actually get away from them because they themselves will never change. They will never... The only way that you can ever deal with a narcissist is one who actually genuinely knows that they are a narcissist and continues to work with somebody or on themselves to correct their narcissism. Because for true narcissists, even therapy can actually feed their narcissism. It is a very, very strong personality thing. It's a very manipulative personality. It's a very toxic personality. And I am a firm believer that if you want to change, you can. However, you have to be the one to want to change. And unfortunately, my mother is not one of those people. And it's very hard to expect someone of that. However, that just means that for me, I can't have my mother in my life. With narcissists, you physically need to get as far away from them as possible because of the amount of control and manipulation that they put on your life. And this is something very difficult, especially as someone who's your mom. Now, because of this, I don't have a relationship with her. I don't necessarily feel like I have a mom. I haven't felt like that for quite a few years. I've raised myself in a lot of ways, and I'm very proud of myself, and I'm very proud of my story. However, that doesn't make it any easier to comprehend things when it comes to talking to my mother. So I've had a situation where going through my childhood bank accounts, there has been money taken from me. And that's in the thousands of dollars range, which means it's not something small. It's not something to move on. It's very unfortunately, I will have to accept the fact that I may never get that money back, but this is why I had to have a conversation with her and talking with her and talking with my father about the situation, because no way should money have been taken from a child. I was working. That money was earned. And I did not have that when I left home. And that was a lot to go through. And just to even experience what I've experienced in my life since that point has changed drastically if I would have had that money. So I'm in the process of trying to get that money back somehow, which is why I've had to have conversations with her. And it's just been a big mind fuck. It's pretty intense to realize that a childhood that you grew up in that was very traumatic, very controlling, very manipulative, very toxic, then moving away from it, having 2 years of growing and understanding myself and feeling better and moving forward and becoming who I can become and who I want to become, and having that separation from a narcissist, and then going into a conversation where you have to work with a narcissist as your mother, who was one of the parties involved in taking that money from you, but now having to work with them to give you that money back is a huge mindfuck. It's a huge, huge expense to my mental health, in the fact that I've talked to her once in a 4-hour conversation, and it has left me depressed. Now, I will be okay. I will move forward, but I think it's important to talk about situations like this because I don't personally know anyone that I've had a conversation with that really resonates with this, and it's something that's very difficult. It's very hard to go through, and it's quite crazy when you're now an adult speaking with them, but they're still your parent. Sorry, ignore my cat. So I wanted to put this out there. I wanted to have it somehow, just, I guess, an account of like what I'm thinking and what I've been going through for this past few days, and just what's been going on, because it's been a lot. It's been really hard to even discern how I'm feeling from what happened, and to have those neurons firing in my brain that haven't fired in a really long time because they were from my childhood, and not having that experience with a narcissist in 2 years, and then having to have that conversation, it's a lot to take in, and it's a lot to digest. And for anyone who has actually spoken with a narcissist, like, you can understand that. Imagine having a conversation with someone for 4 hours, having a lot of things thrown at you, a lot of manipulation thrown at you, a lot of toxic things thrown at you, and then you have to end that conversation and have all of these emotions come back from a traumatic childhood that your brain has physically blocked out, because that's how your brain responds to trauma. I don't genuinely remember a lot of my childhood. I don't remember a lot of conversations I had with my parents or anything like that, and it's because of the fact that trauma genuinely blocks that out. And I understand that, and I've moved forward, and I've understood that my childhood was very traumatic, and it's something that obviously I will have to, like, there will be things that will come up in my life for the rest of my life. However, I have worked through my childhood. I've worked through the fact that I've grown up that way and how I've had those experiences. But one thing that I think is very important to understand is that that does not make those feelings not real, and that depression not come back, and that emotional impact that your parents have really hit you. So, I don't know. It's been hard. And I just think it's important to put this out there for anyone who maybe just needs to listen to it and understand that it's okay to work through these things. It's okay to have these emotions. It's okay to be depressed, and it's okay to like work through this, because it's not the forever, but it's also not okay for that to be something to be prevalent in your life, meaning that you don't need this. Once those conversations and things like that are done, I am very happy with my decision to still have my mother not in my life. I don't want that. I can't have that. So, for anyone who's ever dealt with a narcissist, I just hope that you can find the strength inside yourself to understand that that's not the end. That's not the end all be all. It's not the everyday emotions you'll have to go through, but you deserve better. So, anyways, hope you enjoyed this video. Again, this is just the last thoughts of me. Love you guys. Bye.